And I mean, this is coming from, it's a number 60, it's an even number. You're doing like 55 to 61 odd. So it's, you got the odds. And maybe it'll be easier if we want to look at it just like what we came from. That plus 6 was written at the beginning, not at the end. But really, it won't make any difference. Right? So it'll be y equals 6 plus 5 cosine of 2x minus pi. Right, so this time we're going to graph the cosine. And so we're starting at a different place. We have what is the amplitude? It's 5. It's shifted up 6. The period should be 2 pi over 2. And the horizontal shift is going to be pi over 2 to the right. And those are all the things I could tell just by looking at it right there. Right, so let's see. Up amp equals 5, period equals 2 pi over 2, which is pi, and right pi over 2. Now, when we graph these, if you graph a whole bunch of cosines, what you're going to find out is they all look the same. The only thing that's going to change is the scale that you got on each axis. Because other than that, the cosine always looks like the cosine, and the sine always looks like the sine. They actually each look like each other. And I would expect you're probably going to put it in the calculator. The real question will be, how do you set your window so that you're actually going to see this? And what I'm saying for the sines and the cosines, when we sketch this graph, we want to go from, on the x-axis, we're going to go from minus a period. So whatever is the period, go minus to the left to plus a period on the right. Right, that'll be your x, setting the x in the window. And then let's let the y's will go from the minimum to the max. All right, so this is for the x's, this is for the y's, when you set the window. Right. Well, we did the period. That we've got right away. The period is pi. So we're going to set it from negative pi to pi. So let me go to the calculator. Here's my window. I already got it set. Negative pi to pi. I think I put in pi over 4 just because I made the period less, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you got these the same. And for the min and the max, if I take a cosine function, which normally would have gone from negative 1 to 1, right? It would have looked like that, right? So the middle of the graph is 0. If I shift the whole thing up 6, right? Now the middle of the graph is going to be at 6, right? But the amplitude is 5. So what's the maximum value you're going to get out of this function? If the middle is at 6 and the amplitude is 5, it's going to go up to 11. And what will be the minimum? Positive 1. 6 minus 5, right? So we're taking this graph and we're moving it up 6. And then we're changing the amplitude. So it's going up 5 from the middle and down 5 from the middle. So this is negative pi to pi. This is 1 to 11. I put that in the calculator here, 1 to 11. And then I hit the graph. I've already got this in there. 6 plus 5 cosine of 2x minus pi. And I hit the graph. And again, it should be showing you at that point one wave, one complete wave to the left of the middle, right? Up, it starts at its minimum, max, back to its minimum, and one wave to the right. So the only thing left for you to do is to add the scale that you use to graph it. And I could do a tricky I could go like this. Watch. Okay. Come on. Move it. Move it. All right, there's my graph, and then I'm going to add the scale. This goes from negative pi to pi. All right, that is 1, that is 11, and that's it. There's your graph. So make sure you've got these have to be labeled. Otherwise, you've added nothing, right? If you haven't at least put in the scale on the x-axis and the scale on the y-axis.